Today we have a fashion show, and I think it's going to be something that you'll just love. It's very unusual.
The fashion show in the shopping mall has been compared to the ecclesiastical fashion show in the Fellini movie, Roma, I think it is. Whereas the Fellini take might have been more kind of satirical. This was kind of more gentle and taking kind of aspects of American thought and imagination and just pushing it to an extreme and kind of going, what if there were fewer bounds on people's imagination and the kind of vernacular creativity that exists all over the country, and they just kind of went for it and imagine what that could be.
The fashion show was interesting because we had a costumer for the film, Elizabeth McBride, and then the fashion show was Adelle's deal, and it needed its own costumer. So that was Adelle's vision, and she carried it out, and she had a crew of people building all that stuff.
Look past all those people. I mean, really.
Look out.
Yeah, look out and give them a big wave all the way back.
We talked about that it should be a show that the town could do. It would be silly, in some parts preposterous, but not impossible that these people would make it themselves.
The vernacular stuff that exists is only this far from some of the stuff we were doing, or we would just take it and move it into a different context. I was just talking to someone last night who was in San Antonio, and they have these, what are they called, cotillion balls or debutante balls, where they have these huge capes with all kinds of sparkles and embroidery and all this kind of stuff, and you go, where did this come from? That exists over a lot of West Texas. It seems incongruous in that landscape in a way. And these kind of things just emerge in some place. And you go, okay, these worlds that exist that are kind of local, and they are allowed to flourish and turn into their own quite extreme things.
The categories came out of Sears' Roebuck catalog, to the point that I had suggested maybe Sears can just do the whole movie and we can just give them one huge title at the end. I love catalogs. So seeing all these styles of slickers, kinds of waiters, waitress and waiter catalogs, like what can be better? It's just all there. So why would this small town not celebrate that? The finale was like a bridal scene with insane headdresses, everyone in floral headdresses, which there is something called the Las Floristas Ball. We didn't make this up. These all exist.
We had heard about an artist named, at the time, Gene Poole, who was doing these grass suits with real grass.
I called him up and I asked if he would give me his recipe, that I would grow them in Texas and give him full credit. And he said, no, you can't do that. It's a David Byrne movie. I have to not only grow them, but I want to wear it in the fashion show.
Every dream has a name.
So there was an AstroTurf grass suit, and then there was also one that had real grass in it, which he had to start growing a couple of weeks before that scene was shot, so that when that day came, it was nicely green and sprouted. I tried it on. It was an odd experience. You could, on the inside of the jacket, the roots were coming through, which made you feel in a creepy way like you were underground.
Be sexy in business. Be successful at night.
We had children dressed as adults, gold turbans, pointy sunglasses, like little pachucos, baby Chanel outfits. Children dress in this ridiculously sexualized way now. It's very common.
We would say, well, what about the idea of urban camouflage? What about that? What if people took that idea that if you want to blend in with the environment, you would look like bricks or grass or different things like that. You take these textures that are in the environment and make that part of the clothes. And then what if you take the idea of kind of frilly outfits and dresses, and then you push it even further where it really looks like a giant cake? I mean, that aesthetic already looks like a cake, but what if you make it so it really looks like a cake?
The big and beautiful, that if you are of a large size, show it off and get bigger than that.
You're the dream.